Morning. I don't usually paint this size. It's half imperial, 22 inches by 15. It's Bockingford paper, £130 rough, but I still do wet in wet. I've just put a design on here, a few rocks here, and a bit of rocky stuff there, distance here, and a mountainside going up here. So first of all, I'm going to wet the paper all over. I got this size, I bought 50 sheets of this for just over £30 from Jackson Art. Give them a plug because I buy a lot of stuff from them, as I do from Granthams. Granthams supply all the 100 block sheets of the £130 Fabriano, which I prefer to use at the smaller size, but I'm going to go on to them. I want some of that, this size, so I can have the choice as to whether I want to paint large or paint small. If I do a demonstration, a paid demonstration, I will use this size. Anything smaller than this, the older people can't see what I'm doing, and I would do it upright, of course. So as that dries, I'll put in a wash, the usual wash, but because I'm covering a lot more area, I'm going to have to knock up quite a bit more this raw sienna to go into the background. So let's just get that over there. Try and keep the paper damp. I'm going to paint around, if I can remember, I'm going to paint around those houses. I don't want any more wet than I can help. I need to keep that light for obvious reasons. Now let's put a bit of red in there. Just put a bit of sunsetty. Now there's going to be water there. I'll just put that all across there. Right, now I'm going to keep the light on the left, so we knock up some ultramarine and some nice light red, get that nice and dark. Okay, we'll see what happens to that. That's quite. And I'll put in some dark across here, coming into the raw sienna of the water. Right, I'll reclip the paper, get it nice and flat. So, see what's happened is it's curling over at the top, but if I had more clips I might be able to keep that flat, but never mind, that's a bit better. These clips really do hold tight, see. I'm not so bothered about up there, I can't get that anyway. Right, okay, so we've got this lovely colour up here. Now it's starting to separate. The blue is separating from the red, and that's good. That gives a nice bit of interest to the texture of this thing. A bit darker. It's a sky colour. Right, so we've got that coming in down there, so that'll be catching any wet from any rain that's coming up over that. Get that up there. We'll just lighten that a bit coming down here. I can put some trees and stuff on there. Let's get some umber. bit of red, bit of sienna. I'll do some lemon yellow with my cloth. You need a lot of cloth with this. I'll tell you my palette in a minute if you don't already know it. I'm just painting around here. Get that coming down here. Okay, let's get that coming across there. Then we'll do nice light raw sienna, bit of change the colours as we're coming down, nice and light on that edge there. Right, we'll put in some rocks here, but we want some grass here as well. Now blue and red. Let's put that in there. So that dries. Right, let's get a card and just, let's just pull that tight there. Oh, that's better. Then just etch out some rocks on the shore here. These are quite large boulders. Just a nice, just a few here, just in there. We can put in some coming down here on that ridge, just to separate from the other plane behind it, which I've put in as blue. Not too many, but you want them to show. Oh, okay, that'll. Some scrapings. Catching a bit of light. That'll do. We'll put one there. Okay, not a lot on here, just no, leave that. Right, let's see if we can just get this a little bit flatter up there. Right, okay. I've got a mount for this to go in, or to display in. Right, now we've got this over here now, so this is even more distance, so just a bit of blue. So that's the furthest one, so we'll just put that in there. Now slightly warmer. Just want that to show just a bit heavier there. Separate the colours. Right. bit of just separate that there. I could put some trees up there on that nearer on this back here. That's just bit of yellow in there. Get that down to the water's edge there. That's sort of horizon, but okay, so that'll do for that. So I want to put in some dark. On the horizon, but on the blue side. As Alan known, it's a blue cast. So we'll have this with a bit of a blue cast. In case I want to put, this be thick, in case I want to put a couple of yachts against that. So you need a dark background. You see I've left this here, that little house there. That's going to be very important because we want to give some idea of scale to all this. And by putting a figure or a house or something like that that's got a reference of size, you'll know how big a house is, so you can judge the size of everything else in comparison to it. I know it's obvious, but they're things that you can forget quite easily. Right, let's put a bit of a bank in here. You see, this is where the hake comes in onto its own, really, with the straight edges that you get with it, if you're careful. I'll sneeze. Now, oh, excuse me. The can't remember what I was going to say now. No, there's just a little bit going here, across there. Just some shrubs, scrubby trees, and then we've got some trees coming up there. So a bit of burnt umber with those, and ultramarine, lemon yellow. And my brush is very dry now. So we can put a few on here to separate the far bank there. This will be a little bit warmer. So a bit of red and a bit of umber on there. Oh yeah, the paper's drying off nicely now, so I can get this dry brush effect, hit and miss. Right, be careful with where I put my brush in. I want to keep that. So nothing of any great note here, just some trees coming down, and we can just a bit of texture in there. Put a bit of red in, oops, overdid that. Just a little bit of detail on there. Some dark in there. Okay, Now just a little bit of lighter dragging over there. Showing the shape of the landscape behind here. Bit of shrubbery, bit of grass on the slope here, so we can show the shape of this. And a bit on the top here. Right, let's get some bluer stuff on here, just behind those little rocks there. Let's just okay. Right, let's get some good tree stuff up there. Right, let that almost go. Okay, so we've now got some planes going back here, but I think it's a bit darker. Bit on there, around those rocks. Bit bigger there. Alright, let's just make a few of these out of that. Okay. Now we've got some nice greens needed there. So lemon yellow. We'll put in a bit of nice dry brushed dark foliage for want of a better name really. Right, now some wash. I'm putting rocks in down here, so but I'm just putting a bit of a background wash, bit of shadow. Right, now nice darks in here. All different colours in here. Yellow ochre, red, and a bit of a rock in here. Right, get the old colours, bigger rocks here. By doing it like that, you're squeezing the dark paint to the bottom of where you take the colour off, and it gives you the shadow. Gives you that sort of 3D effect. But you don't want them all looking the same. You want some round ones as well. Right, they look okay. Right, so that's the idea of that. It's just to scrape the paint into the paper, scrape it out of the paper, it leaves you with a surface on there. Now I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm going to go back to this area over here with my 1/2 inch flat, and I'll put in a blue and red roof. I'm doing all this without using Payne's grey. So we just put that coming down there. Any noise you hear, so I've got a friend putting a new shower door in for me. The other one came to grief after 30 years. So a bit of shadow there, a bit of shadow there, there, and that's catching the light there. I'll just put in just a bit of shadow under the tiles. Okay, so window to there. Right, I'll wait for it to dry, then I'll do some detail onto that. Just put that across there. I've gone down a bit too far there. Right, a bit of calligraphy. I'm going to do that in a minute. I want to get the basic painting in, so I've used my rigger. I want to put some nice. Oh, maybe I should do that after, shouldn't I? I want to put some of these reflections in here, or to dry brush anyway. So I'll give that a good dry, so hold your ears if you're listening on headphones. I tell you what, I'm very pleased with that, with the way that's come out. I really like that. Now, when we do this, I'm going to dry brush because not all lakes are reflective. If they're wind blown, they will be just reflecting the sky as a dry brush. So I'm just going to clean my palette and knock up a bit of grey and a bit of stuff. I've got the basic colour in the water anyway, but I want to dry brush this. Right, okay, so got my hake, got most of the water off. So just a bit of light red, a bit of, always a challenge this, because the paper's more or less flat. But you've got to make sure your brush has, this is where the dry brushing gets tricky, because you've got to get the right amount of water in. Now, I want that light, so let's just gently stroke across here. And then we'll put a bit of green in there, I think, just to okay, so that is showing wind ruffling as far as I'm concerned. Right, I'll give that a dry. Hold on to your ears. Just a little bit of calligraphy now. That I've run out of toilet tissue. My mate's in the shower room next to here. I'll come down just a little bit too far with that roof line there, so let's just lift that out. Okay, now we've got a bit of dark in there, so just okay, so there's me chimney up here. Bit of a dirty chimney there. Right, oops, right, that'll do. No portraits. Burnt umber, and a bit of blue. That'll give you a nice dark for just get some of these bits of grass, just a bit of detail. I should have done some more of that lifting out when it was wet, shouldn't I? Let's just put in some of this. That'll be mostly be on the mount. Not a lot more I can do with that, other than put in a couple of yachts and pistons. Let's just take a couple out here. Okay, that's one. If anybody watched Country File last night, this is British listeners, watchers, they were doing Northumberland. Oh, I wish I'd recorded it. I could photograph some stills from it. And let the BBC try to sue for copyright infringement, seeing as we own it. Sure they wouldn't mind anyway. Okay, that'll do for that. I reckon we could put in a little bit of a boat here, some little rowing boat. Make it red so it shows. Let's sorry about bad language. That I slipped on my palette. That's just so I got angry. Right. It doesn't look much like a boat, is it? Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay. It's a chubby boat, a chubby rowing boat, slightly laying over, best I can explain that. Right, let's put in a little figure. Right, little man there. Right, there's not much more I can do there. Let's just give it a signature. Put it in a mount. I had a big bit of hardboard that I used for mounting these, but I'm not quite sure. Well, it's got, I'll probably done an acrylic on it. Hold on. Before it all goes wrong. Right, that should be about right. Put that there. And one over here. Oops. Right, okay, here we go. Bear with me while I sort myself out. Ah. Oh, that's too big. Right, I've got another map. Hold on. There several schools of thought here. 22 by 15, 23 by whatever. No, that's even worse, isn't it? I don't know what's happening here. Maybe I haven't got one. Right. That would have to do. I've got one somewhere. So that's me picture. I've got most of that. The width. Well, let's cut off quite a bit of that width. But anyway, there we are. Scottish Highlands. Or Crofter's Cottage. Crofter's Cottages. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Crofter's Cottages. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll zoom you in. And we'll see. See, I've kept the detail to the minimum. It looks as if I've got a lot there, but I haven't. It's all suggested. Other than that house, just to give scale to the whole thing. Let's look at it. And the dry brush are quite. Crofter's Cottage. Yeah, that'll do. I think I need to straighten that up, won't I? That's better. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.